Welcome to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast in the Marshland media conglomerate empire, detailing episode by episode Lucha Underground, the collaboration between AAA Wrestling and the El Rey Network. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Sean. Hello. And with me is another host. His name is James.
What's up?
Oh, shit. Let him know.
Tell me, listeners, what are you doing?
Yeah, please, we care about you. I was going to come in with false bravado, but honestly, listeners, I just want to know how you're doing.
5-star iTunes review. Let us know how you're doing. Or if you're on Spotify, still give us a 5-star rating. But you can answer questions. There's a Q&A. Just what are you up to? What are you doing while listening right now? And if you don't, you're a coward, you're a simp, you're a cuck.
Yeah. Wait, well, we do want simps. I would like to. I would love some simps on this channel. I would love some simps to get real on board with us and be like, ooh, those two sexy wrestler voices or wrestling fan voices. I don't know how simps work, but I'm pretty sure we want simps.
No, I want Sigma males just loving our shit, but willing to punch people in the face.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's true. You need to, if you're going to simp for us, you must first be a Sigma. I don't know what that means. Can I tell you, the other day, I was hanging out in our friend Shelby's Discord. Shouts out to Shelby.
You want to know what? No.
Okay, never mind.
No, I'm kidding.
But, and another friend of ours, AWOL, and you know what? I will shout out AWOL TV. They just kind of got their Twitch channel started. Super fun Twitch channel. Would recommend. But we're hanging out in the Discord and they're going back and forth like, oh, real Sigma male stuff. Oh, no, I'm looking for one of those alpha types. And I'm just like, I enjoy Kenny Omega. He's a pretty cool wrestler. I don't know what these words mean. Well, all I know is I fuck with Kenny Omega.
Open a Wikipedia, okay?
I don't think I want to.
Do it, you coward.
Okay, we talk about wrestling at some point, I promise.
Yeah,
but first.
we're 2 minutes in, it's fine. We're also talking wrestling. There's nothing but Sigma males in wrestling.
Here's the thing about, like, I'm 33 years old. James, you're 32.
Oh my goodness,
31.
Sean, you're as old as Jesus the Nazarene.
Yeah, I'm trying to die this year.
Yeah, get crucified, Sean.
Please.
Get poked in the ribs with a sharp spear.
I think especially it made me realize that conversation yesterday made me realize there are certain things about just, it is kind of ignorant for me to not really be up on all of the lingo between alpha, sigma, beta. It sounds like a joke, but like it did become a movement. Like it's crazy how much that shit holds weight in certain communities. And like I feel like some of the, like a lot of the shit that's happening today, like, or, you know, a couple years ago, like the Jan 6 shit, you know, that comes from some of this lingo or whatever. And like, so I want to know about it, but also I'm old enough that I don't care. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Jan 6 is that Brady Bunch reboot, right?
That's the one. Yeah. They get hit in the head with a nuclear football.
It's all 6 children's are Jan.
Yeah.
Also, that didn't happen to Jan. That was Marsha.
That was Marsha. Jan threw it? Or
no,
was just there?
Was just there, and she's like, Marsha.
Listen here now. Don't get snooty with me because I'm not super on top of my Brady Bunch trivia. It's embarrassing, I agree, but don't get snippy with me.
I've seen so much Brady Bunch, not just the regular TV show, the spin-offs, the made-for-TV movies. I am part of the bunch.
Whoa, are you, if you had to quantum leap into any character from the Brady Bunch, but not necessarily the family, like one of the tertiary characters, who are you quantum leaping into?
The dog.
Fuck yeah, dude, I knew it. I truly, like in my heart, I'm like, he's going to say the fucking dog. And I'm going to be like, let's go.
Oh, also, we want Sigma males, but no smegma males. If you're uncircumcised, get the fuck out.
Yeah, and I truly do not care. It's weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing about like turning. Do you have things like that where like something new comes up? You can tell that it's important to the world around us, but it's hard to make yourself care about it. Have you ever run into anything like after 30 where you're just like, I should care about, like, this means something, but like, it's a struggle to make myself care? Is this just a Goose is depressed thing? I can't tell.
I am sorry I didn't hear fully what you said because I was reading what a Sigma male is.
All right, well, you want to share with the class?
They often enjoy their own company, don't conform to societal norms, and are described as a lone wolf. They regularly stereotyped as honorable, charismatic, and magnetic, and are often seen to be unafraid to take risks or make their own decision what? They are unafraid to take risks or make their own decisions. They're unafraid to do that. Okay, I was like, well, wait, they're afraid to make their own decisions? That doesn't make sense.
It sounds like testosterone-driven astrology.
No,
like, I don't dig astrology. I'm a man. I'm a Sigma man.
No. I think it's the people who would say, well, you guys were out partying. I was mastering the blade. I think those are Sigma males, which I'm fine with that. It's the alpha males who are shit.
Maybe, and this is me being ignorant, this whole Greek letter labeling of people, specifically, it always seems to be dudes. I don't know if it needs to exclusively be dudes, but it's like, and I think it stems from this I never got deep into red pill, the side of things, the red pill, blue pill internet culture or whatever that was.
You simp.
I really, that's the whole point. I wish I could yes and this clever bit you're doing, James, but the whole point of everything I'm saying is like, I missed the bus on it, so I'm confused all the time. And I don't care enough to not be confused because it feels like that doesn't need a label. Like, it feels like, no, I'm just kind of introverted. Like, why you got to be Sigma male about it? You could just be, I don't know. And also the whole alpha thing and it being a great misunderstanding. If I ever hang out with a dude who has to refer to himself as an alpha, nah, you take the initiative so that my sad introverted ass doesn't feel overwhelmed. I appreciate that. I'm not going to call you an alpha. It feels too much. It feels like you're over labeling something.
And if I ever hang out with someone who describes himself as an elf, I'm going to dissect his ass.
Yo, look for all them cats, baby. Dude eats pussy.
Also, that was only the first season that he stopped doing that. There were so many episodes where he did not eat cats.
Yeah, man, I only watch TV shows if the main character is canonically eating pussy on a regular basis. So I turned off after that first season, you know?
Ooh, you want to know who's a Sigma male?
Who's a Sigma male?
The lone wolf, the fear wolf himself, PJ Black.
We got a great episode coming in. Season 2, episode 5 of Lucha Underground. The name of this episode is The Man. James, did I get that right? The name of this episode is The Man?
He's not a man, he's the machine.
Yeah,
At
baby.
first I was like, did I watch the wrong episode?
No, I'm setting you up for a bit. Also, so we can shout out, I would like to take this moment to dedicate this episode to Brian Cage and Melissa Santos, who have just had today, as of recording a couple days ago, had their second child. Just gave birth to their second baby. Here is a direct quote from Cage's Twitter. Pumping out babies like an effing machine. And we're... Sorry. He's... Really, you know what? Just that. He's pumping out babies like an effing machine.
I thought you were going to say, on Twitter, this is a direct quote, made another Sigma.
Oh, gross. No, he's pumping out babies like a fucking machine. But actually, this is Mel Santos, was the real machine this time. Time to go to the streets. They had a big match right afterwards. We've said it before. We'll say it again and again. We love Melissa Santos. We love Brian Cage on this show. Love to see Brian Cage still fucking kicking ass. He had these nice little Sega tights for the new Yakuza game came out, and he did like a little tie-in for it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Fucking congrats to both of them. Pumping out babies like an effing machine. Yeah. You ready to get into the episode?
Yeah, speaking of effing, someone sent me a song to make a new beat around, and it's called Throat Fuck, and I was like, I don't want to put that in my computer, so I just called it Throat Effed.
Yeah. I I owed to be concerned with the things I put into my computer. It's like my body. It's a temple, but it's a temple that I treat like trash.
Yeah, it's full of raccoons and I guess like
Tentacle porn.
demons.
Oh, yeah, no, demons. Demons. Definitely not tentacle. Who said tentacle porn?
Oh, okay.
When you're talking. I would.
I thought you said pentagrams, and I was like, oh, that's same as demons.
Oh, yeah, no, but I am talking about Pentagon. As Pentagon Jr. kneels at his maestro. There's a shot, Penta kneeling, and we get voiceover from, he's the voiceover, either Ian Hodgkinson or Vampiro.
It's Vampiro.
We got a new layer, which is very exciting. I don't think we really had this layer quite established until this. So the voiceover says Ian Hodgkinson had to lock Vampiro inside. Ian Hodgkinson is the shoot name of Vampiro.
I think it's the flipped now.
I think it is.
Vampiro is the shoot name of Ian Hodgkinson.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong. He's talking about how Ian locked Vampiro inside, so Vampiro had to take control. While Ian thought he was like losing his mind and like hearing voices, secretly, Vampiro sought an apprentice. Fucking Star Wars style. Someone ruthless enough to release Vampiro from the prison of Ian Hodgkinson's mind. Enter Pentagon, who had proved himself to be that apprentice at Ultima Lucha last year. And Ian says, now together, Penta, nothing can stop us. Allow nothing to stand in your way. Not even her. And we get this shot of a faded, sepia-toned pic of a woman. Who the fuck is this character? Ian Hodgkinson, Vampiro are two separate characters inhabiting the same body? The lore. James, the lore. Season 2 said, we're going fucking buck wild with lore.
And this, as Vampiro in voiceover is explaining, is Ian Hodgkinson's nightmare, which, to be clear, we need to clarify that nightmare is The Room resurgence of Vampiro Night Warrior.
No, please.
No.
Not the mannequins. Not the fucking sexy ass mannequins.
I'm fine with the color light like James's, but everything else, no. Remember Norman Smiley's there? That's pretty cool.
Yo, shout out to Chris Hero. Was like one of those influential big time indie wrestlers from the 2000s who never got his WWE opportunity, really. He just had his first return match, and guess what he was wearing in the pics afterwards with, we're big fans of this channel, Wrestling with Regret, Brian Zane. Motherfucking Norman Smiley jersey.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Chris Hero and Norman Smiley and Brian Zane. We go to the desk. Ian is in the very sharp pair of glasses. Striker. Yep. Okay.
Vampiro is in Zach Bagans' glasses. If you don't know who that is, it's the man from Ghost Adventures. But Vampiro actually pulls them off, a.k.a. pulling my panties off.
No, I'm wet for Vampiro. I said sharp. I could have given more credence. He looks good. He looks real good. As opposed to Matt Stryker, I do not care for the gray camo t-shirt under leather jacket.
I like it.
I don't know. It's not. I remember when it was really cool, and I don't think I was very cool at the time in my life. So I react to it in a certain way. They're at the desk. They're adorable. We can get into our first match. It is Jack Evans, who immediately takes the mic away from Melissa Santos to introduce himself. The hero we never knew we had.
Which is me when I forget that I had leftover Subway in the fridge. The hero you never knew you had.
It is also the little bit of diarrhea afterwards because that sandwich is not new. Fuck dragons. Melissa Santos, this is how you do your job. Jack Evans has been calling out Drago for a little bit now. He's got an opponent tonight. The, I believe, second match of the brand new Darewolf, motherfucking PJ Black.
Yeah, and when Jack Evans is scolding the audience and bringing down Vampiro, saying he sucks shit, I'm the best, I'm the Dragon Slayer, or the Drago Slayer, if you will, then he hands the mic angrily back to Melissa and said, as you said, that's how you do your job. And no, Melissa can't show any favoritism nor just blatant douchebaggery towards the talent. That would be mean.
Wait a minute. James, are you accusing Jack Evans, the man who invented Lucha Libre, of blatant douchebaggery?
Even if he invented it, which I believe he did.
Yes. He said so. He said it on TV. It has to be true.
Be humble about it.
You know what? Good life lessons. Truly. Show us you've been there before.
What if we find out that it's a circular timeline and Jack Evans becomes Aerostar because he's a time traveler and he actually did create Lucha Libre 2,000 years ago? Wouldn't that be a fuck mind job?
Fucking Aerostar canonically confirming that time travel exists in Lucha Underground is such a treasure. It is such a gift, both to us as fans and as snarky podcast hosts. I can only hope. We can only hope. Evans opens the match. Evans offers the handshake, but it is a ruse to kick PJ Black in the tummy.
Oh.
Vampiro's like, yeah, that's what I would do to you, Matt Stryker. Ooh. They are adorable. It's a match. It's Black's strength and innovative offense to keep him dominant, but Jack's speed, athleticism, and trickery, a lot of trickery, keeps him competitive.
And Stryker says or calls PJ Black like Dr. Black, something along those lines.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but it sounded familiar.
And Vampiro goes, he's a doctor? Which was also Vampiro the first time listening through Forgot About Dre. And he's a doctor? He makes these great beats? He raps very well? And on top of all of that, spent 8+ years in college to get a doctorate? This is wild.
You know what? We're adding Dr. Dre to the shout out list. Good job, man. Way to fucking be great. Evan looks for a springboard corkscrew Gamengiri. Big pop to the faithful. Evans is using trickery. Before the bell even rings, he's talking shit. He is such a little weasel, but then he does some of the coolest fucking shit you've ever seen. And everyone's still like, man, you know what? True.
I want him to lose, though, because PJ Black won me over wholeheartedly. Sean, what do you think, or how do you think he won me over this match?
I'm very curious because I'm about to jump towards the end, so I don't think I have it.
Okay, so
James, how does PJ Black win you over in this match?
Evans had him in the corner and he punched him, but then he was able to get Evans in the corner. He goes to the other side, runs at him and stops and just Three Stooges style pokes him in the eye. The ref is like, what the fuck did you just do? Holding his hands up like, what? And then PJ Black says, oh, high five that, right? And then the ref's like, no, don't do that again. He is now top level scamp shit. I loved it. And immediately I'm like, well, he has to win. This dude rocks.
Clearly. Actually, thank you. I did have that note and I missed it. Yeah, that is A-tier scampery from fucking PJ Black. I'm very excited.
That's that Sigma shit.
Whatever. I love when James finds a bit and I, on an emotional level, have to shut it fucking down.
Damn it. I had a joke to tell you, but I forgot what it was. I will just keep going. It's Dominator related.
God damn it.
Oh, I remember it. Hey, Sean, you want to know the first actual Dominator in this podcast's history?
I was so happy to remember the PJ Black scampery, and now, no, James, what is the first instance of Dominator lore in this podcast's history?
Playboy's Hugh Hefner.
Oh, he's so evil. He's dead, but he still sucks.
I hope you remember how he's related in stories to dogs.
What? Are there actual, or was this stuff we made up because we're silly gooses?
No, this is real stories. We talked about it, I believe, on Shuffling the Deck.
Oh, then
he's like, oh yeah, even dogs have needs.
He said that?
Yes, Sean, we had this conversation multiple times.
Sorry, thank you. I don't know why I'm thanking you for reminding me of
them
this.
dogs, but not in the way we want. Our Dominator would not actually hurt a dog.
Clearly, my mind is trying to protect me by blocking this memory out. But
you can carefree masturbate to Playboy still.
That's all I'm. Who's masturbate? It's 2023, James. What kind of Philistine do you think I am jerking off the magazines? How
Dorian
dare you?
Electra was in one recently, and that's very hot.
Good. Oh shit! Recently, are they still magazine? They are still a magazine. We talked about this.
Yeah. Oh, you remember that we talked about that, but not dogs having needs. Stop saying
what a
that,
surprise.
James.
What a shocker. I can't believe it myself. After that Gamungiri and Jack gets that, again, the crowd cheers for him despite hating him. We see above the temple, over the announce desk, a fucking horned to the gills Drago.
Woo.
Drago's new mask is horny as fuck. And I mean that in the very literal sense. Yeah. He has giant ass horns.
It's fucking like a plague doctor mask mixed with Drago's mask.
I was getting oversized cow skull or bull skull.
Or Halloween masks in the 1950s. Think of that. And then it's supposed to be playful for children, but looking at photos of them now, oh my God, that's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. And that's kind of what his mask is giving off.
I like his new mask a lot.
It's terrifying.
Hell yeah. Also, he has fucking nunchucks, which is the best. Out of everyone you could just see appear over you in the night sky with a giant horny new mask and fucking nunchucks, Drago. You menace.
You want to know who I miss? Hernandez.
I miss Hernandez too. I love Hernandez.
I only bring that up because he totally got the full force of those nunchucks.
To the fucking dome at Ultima Lucha. Yeah. I should check the time. I think he might be back in TNA.
Probably,
right now.
Because this is when he would be running over a child or helping someone run over a child.
Yes. So yeah, for good reason, Jack Evans is distracted. Seeing Drago with the nunchucks and the big horns. He goes outside while PJ is down. He grabs a water bottle and a chair and he gets back in the ring. He's like, fucking come at me. He throws the water bottle at Drago above him. PJ Black seizes the distraction to deliver the Black Diamond, but Jack Evans kicks at 2.
No.
I know. Come on, how dare you kick out? We're trying to put PJ Black is an official scamp. We need to protect him. We need to protect his finisher. As the ref is getting the chair out of the ring, PJ Black drives Evans into the ropes. Drago goes to miss Jack Evans, but he escapes, leaving Black the one to take the miss straight to the eyes.
No!
We get that Jack Evans backslide bridge, the same pin he used against Drago last week. He wins in 3 minutes and 52 seconds.
Drago better apologize to PJ and they better team up to take down Evans.
Well, I don't know. Jack escapes as Drago. After the match, Jack escapes. Drago kind of pursues, but leaves him in the ring, stays in the ring. Jack is kind of celebrating as PJ Black considers the nunchucks. And it didn't look good for that friendship, the way he was looking at those nunchucks.
Fingers crossed they come to agreements like, hey, I'm sorry. Oh, I respect you, Drago. It's cool. But who do we not collectively respect? That devious fool. He did create Lucha Libre, but
respectfully,
he's not being cool about it.
He's not, but respect is earned. I don't know. I kind of want to see I might want to see, maybe a little bit of a match between PJ Black and Drago. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit of them wrestling each other. Maybe, I don't know, a little bit of scampery and horror scampery.
My respect is earned, but my sex is sperm. I have one no on this match. And again, Stryker is doing a lot of rhyming. Like, oh, PJ Black's on attack, but ooh, baby, Evans just gave him a smack. And Vampiro says, I'm taking your notes away. And Stryker says, it's not notes, Vamp. It's this new thing I just learned about, improv.
He pulls out a copy of Truth and Comedy. I think you should read this and also pay me $5,000.
Hey man, you gotta check out this thing called UCB. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. They have this industrial complex on like Franklin, not Franklin's Sunset. Will it be there in a couple years after, COVID hits? No. Did they expand too much because the improv bubble was just booming like crazy in the early 2010s? Yes.
Did they pay any of their performers? No. It's just like Lucha Underground.
They got paid when they were on screen.
Yeah. They got paid. They weren't allowed to work. That was the issue with the contracts.
What about this? Let's say you've been doing IO. You love it there, Sean, and they pay you for the weekend shows, but you are unable to get any jobs outside of that during the weekends. Would you think that's a good offer?
No. In the contract, they're preventing me from working at especially there are so many interesting, good t-shirts. I mean, interesting comedy, like independent comedy clubs that are doing really cool shit. If you were contractually obligated to only work in one improv theater, that's bad. Don't do that.
$700 a week.
Okay, they're paying me Was that how much they're getting paid? For an improviser, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But, like, how many is that?
It's 2 shows a night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, but I'm only getting the $700 a week for the 2 shows. So that's rough. I'm being asked to work twice, but I'm only getting paid the same amount.
They also have just got this new deal with the resurrected CISO, and they're now filming you, but you're still only getting paid that $700 a month.
Wait a minute.
Week, I mean.
You didn't mention there was a chance for me to be in Shrinked, the Tim Bald's classic.
Don't bring that up. I'm still pissed that season 2 never was released.
Truly not even fucking fair. That's why I'm bringing it up. So you motherfuckers remember.
And then Siegel gets some show on Apple TV, same concept, but it's the indie darling.
Yeah. It's gross. And it's the problem. It's bad. It's a bad deal. Speaking of bad deals, we're going to cut exterior day in a used car lot with CRT scanline filters. James, who just made his way back to the temple in my opinion, a fucking great little promo.
I love this so much. It's Famous B. He's back.
Famous B is back with like a whole new fucking character and intention, and it's so good. Famous B, white suit, gold tie, and pocket cloth next to like a nice red, I think Cadillac, because I'm not great with cars. He asks us if we're feeling insignificant. When you die, no one will remember you. Cue applause. Unless you call me. Let Famous B make you famous. Everything about this, the CRT lines, the clearly canned audience applause in the middle of this spiel on like, let me make you famous. He's kind of like, he's a sleazy agent type character now. I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Me too. And you said, I love the scan lines. No, Sean, no.
Oh, okay.
If it were in 4:3, if it were in 4:3 aspect ratio, then it would be perfect. Stop doing this, guys. If you're trying to give a retro feel, go all out. Make it 4:3, and then I'll say, oh yeah, you did it.
Okay. Fair. Fair.
That's what I
am not as media literate as James, so I just got to enjoy it a bunch. But I can tell, I don't want to get deep. James, you guys can't see it. James is seething. He was very professional to mute the microphone, but he did rip his shirt a la the Hulk. And again, great cum gutters, James, but I just need you to like just calm down for a second. I'm sorry it wasn't in 4:3. I can only apologize on behalf of the El Rey Network.
That's why I very much enjoyed WandaVision. They did shit right.
Yeah, well, they also had Disney budget, and which I don't think El Rey had at this time.
No, okay, to make some, I am very low on the video editor totem pole. I know how to make something 4:3. And I have seen on other big budget ass shit, even like VHS, those that movie series, that anthology series.
Okay.
They do everything. It would be stretched if you were going to get it, or very zoomed in, a la Disney Plus fucking up The Simpsons with the in quotes remasters when it's just, we're going to zoom in.
Yeah, no, those look bad. I wonder, maybe, I don't know what happened there. Small details go a long way, which is surprising because usually this show is very good with their details. Yeah. But that's why we notice it when you fuck up. That being said, to focus on Famous B, so excited for where this character goes.
Same.
Hell yeah. Next match of the night, King Cuerno versus Killshot, baby.
Can I say this?
Please do.
No notes.
Ooh, okay.
I just loved it.
It was very good. I'll go through it then because it's very good. King Cuerno once again wrestling without defending his Gift of the Gods championship. This is not a title match. Favored treatment from Katrina? We know they got that deal in place. What does this deal mean? Other than King Cuerno never has to wrestle for his title.
I think it's an overall.
An overall?
Yeah, an overall deal.
I don't know what is that like Sigma male? I don't know what that means.
No, that's a film term. It's when you kind of like the old studio system, someone would be hired to do like a bunch of movies. That's what an overall is.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I didn't know. I forgot what that was called. Don't yell at me. James is taking his shirt back off. Oh my God.
No, I put it back on because now I'm business forward. Yes, it's an agreement under which a film studio pays compensation to a producer in exchange for the use of that person's creative services. So it's like when James Gunn wasn't the head of DC Universe shit, when they're like, okay, we'll give you, like, we want you to do a bunch of movies with us and TV shows. He's kind of just like locked into Warner Brothers to do this stuff. Sure. I guess, I don't know, term-wise, I always thought that was just it was called the studio deal, not an overall deal, but that makes sense. Because I always associate it with the studio system. You know, I feel like those are the words that always floated around. So you think it's an overall deal? It's just, hey, Cuerno, whatever you do, you get what you want. It's just you cannot, as long as you never challenge Mill for the title, you can have any match you want, and you get paid bonus for being the Gift of the Gods champ. You want to know what? Maybe it is that, but I was just bringing up a film thing, thinking Sean would understand it.
Oh, okay. And I think it took me a minute. It's okay. We got time.
No, man. We started this conversation at 25 minutes, and now it's 35 minutes. I'm kidding.
I want to know what a Sigma male is. But yeah, so another non-title match. Killshot creates offense early. It's a lot of Killshot up top. A lot of this match does a lot for Killshot. Springboard drop kicks, tornado planchas. Stryker puts over Killshot. He says, last year, I got behind Phoenix and Drago. This year, it's all about Killshot. Yeah! Offers to bet his leather jacket against Ian's Black Label Society sweatshirt. Ian says, it ain't happening.
Brother.
But even for them to put Killshot, like, I feel like it was very clear. Even though, you know, watching it, and at this time in 2016, American wrestling fan, I didn't know who Phoenix and Drago were. It's very clear those are your top guys in season 1. Like they put them in really good light. It was super, like, these are heroes. These are superheroes. So for Matt Stryker to say that about Killshot is very exciting. I think that's like, and for good reason, especially if you're watching AEW right now and you're following Swerve Strickland, hopefully the first black heavyweight champion of AEW, because he is killing it every week.
I see on wrestlers' profiles on like social media, they will say like X time champ and they'll list it off and they will put Lucha Underground on there. They should just start saying, even if you never won a championship, put over on Lucha Underground.
I think I agree. There are so many lists of the best wrestlers who have never won the heavyweight title, the big one. And this guy's like Mr. Perfect. You know, guys like Jake the Snake Roberts, like fucking hugely influential, important guys that just because they weren't cast in that role, like, right, you never hear who's like a famous character actor.
Fred Willard.
you never hear Fred Willard, you never hear them like discrediting Fred Willard, like, oh, but he was never, he was never number one on the call sheet. Like, no, the only person who does that is Scott Aukerman. And I think he's like 60% ironic when he does it. Nobody really, like, nobody cares. They care that you work and that you serviced the project you were on.
Or it would be more so, oh, well, he never won the gold at the Oscar, not even nominated. No, he still fucking rules.
It's weird. I don't know how much people actually care about the Oscars. Like, film fans are not the same way that wrestling fans are with never having won the big one. But the difference with the Oscars, that is an actual competition. This is television. This is, as much as this is athletic and is a sport, it is also a scripted television program in some sense, So it's like, it's at least it's not even like the Oscars, where at least if the Oscars are more real life than the competition you're worried about, maybe don't be so competitive with it,
I mean, we could go into how the Oscars are somewhat rigged and whatnot, but we don't have time to do that. However, this seems like a good part for me to say this, because I've been thinking about it recently. We know there's only 4 seasons of Lucha Underground, and it really puts into light how much I don't enjoy long stretches of someone holding like the top belt, the top championship in a federation and a promotion. And we had one last season. How many people can actually get that? We only currently have 3 belts. It's the trios, the main one, and the gift of the gods. There needs to be in promotions a 1-year belt where you can have this belt for an entire year. And then it becomes a situation like Mrs. Pac-Man or Pac-Man, whichever one you want to go, where it's not who gets the highest score, because there is a set score. There's a specific kill screen, and there is a specific set amount of things that you can get to get a perfect score. Now it is who can get the perfect score the quickest. So then it all of a sudden becomes, how long can you hold this belt? Who can take it the year? And maybe at a week before the year ends, you go into like a gauntlet match where it's like you against 3 other people, and everyone has to be pinned in order to get that belt. So it would be like, I think that would be interesting where, oh my God, I have this belt and everyone is coming after me because it's only a year you can have this. And everyone wants to be able to say, I am the first person to have this for an entire year. I think that would be a really cool wrinkle to throw into things. And it lets the belt change up more.
That's kind of what I was hoping, though it doesn't look like they were going to do with the gift of the gods. Like, I was really hoping the medallions would be like the Dragon Balls, then they scatter and you have to recollect them at the end of the year. Who's ever holding it, if they have not cashed in, they have to defend it again. Like, I was hoping they'd do that. They kind of do that. That's kind of Money in the Bank if you consider the briefcase a title, because you can only hold it if you don't cash in before the next Money in the Bank is just gone.
Oh, okay.
But they don't really explore that too much. But it's interesting. I agree. I would like to see something like that. Maybe and make that,
Can someone take the Money in the Bank away from you?
Yes. People have like basically challenged the holder to a match. And they like, yo, you should put the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line.
No.
And the guy's like, okay, I will. And then he loses the briefcase.
No, there's no choice to put this belt on the line. That's the difference here, I think.
No, I think you're right. That's why I think what I'm saying is they're flirting with the idea with the Money in the Bank. Mostly just to kind of, I'm more trying to exemplify that, like, this kind of works. Those storylines with Money in the Bank are usually pretty exciting. So, like, yeah, they flirted with it. Let's go all the way.
Yeah, come on. Anyone listening who's in the biz, let me know if you want this idea. Call it like the contract belt, something like that, where it's just a 1-year thing, the annual prize. I don't know. We'll workshop some titles. But yeah, I think it would make for really cool stories. And it would have a sense of urgency, kind of like it would feel, it feels very much like speed running, that it's the challenging speed runs where someone plays all of the FromSoft main games where it's and they don't take any damage, Sean.
Okay, don't come at me in my Twitch channel for taking all of the damage in my Dark Souls 3 playthrough.
I'm saying how crazy it is someone, I think it's truly no leveling and no damage. It's just someone going through in row, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, and then like 2 others, and like, or maybe it's just 5. So it's someone going through all 5 of those games, not leveling and not taking a single damage. But then when you're on there was a speed run where someone was on like the last guy and got hit, and he's like, well, that's my entire day shot. Fuck.
Yeah, yo.
And that's what this bell would feel like.
I feel you. I'll jump to the end of the match. It's been very competitive, back and forth. Again, great showcase for Killshot. Cuerno looks great, but Killshot's the one kind of getting the rub here. He goes for a springboard moonsault, but Cuerno catches him with like a PK kick mid-air upside down to his head. Brutal. Cuerno looks for a tombstone pile driver. Killshot shifts his weight to reverse. I don't know what this move was with the double knees, but chef's kiss. Killshot gets a little cocky, looks for the corkscrew dive. No one is home. Cuerno, with the thrill of the hunt, ends the match 5 minutes, 29 seconds. Vampiro's calls out Killshot. He's like, rookie mistake. Then he says he deserves to get stomped as Cuerno is bullying him after the match. Cuerno is looking for a dude buster, but Phoenix arrives to make the save, forces Cuerno to quickly bail out.
Should have stayed. Come on, Cuerno.
He deserves to get stomped. Quick pause. Sorry, I gotta pee like a motherfucker. You know when you go to open the bathroom door, but it's locked, so you're like, all right, I'll let my roommate finish peeing or whatever he's doing. And then you hear the shower go off. Like, oh, it's gonna be a minute, yeah.
So you pee in the freaking sink in the kitchen, babe.
I should have. I'm just gonna power through.
But our next match, guys, oh boy, this stinks of Chavo. Has his fingerprints all over it, which is... He loves flaming hot anything. It helps him cheat better. You know, he keeps it on his... It, 1, leaves fingerprints, and 2, it leaves the residue on your hand so he can rub it in someone's eyes, and then, oh no, I can't see well.
Because if there's one thing you want when you're cheating, it's fingerprints.
That's actually a really good... Someone needs to do this, like, pretend that they just ate a bunch of flamin' hot, and then, like, go into wrestling and just rub their hands all over their face.
That sounds... It's something disgusting. That has happened somewhere in the 80s. It sounds gross. It sounds so bad. It is a gauntlet match. To win a gauntlet match, Tejano must defeat all 3 opponents one at a time consecutively. Those opponents being Chavo Guerrero Jr. and the Crew. How is this fair? That exactly, the stinks of Chavo. You think you're chanting "You suck now"? Guy sitting next to the crowd might. Wait till you find out that Castro is a cop.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Because, these people this early on would not have seen the vignette stuff.
No, they just fucking hate the Crew and Chavo. The first is Mr. Cisco. He starts the match off. Chavo's yelling at him, "Show me what you got! Give it to him!" Cisco yells back, "I know!" Super kick, 1, 2, 3. Cisco is beaten immediately.
I was hoping for this. The first match is just a quick KO. Oh boy, Tejano fucking rules.
Hell yeah, dude. A fucking Matt Striker. Matt Striker calls Chavo Lieutenant Loco, which is wild. James, do you know who Lieutenant Loco is?
I do not.
Chavo changed his name to that when he joined the Misfits in Action, a late-stage WCW faction. Other notable members included Lash LaRue as Corporal Cajun, NWO girl Tylene as Major Guns, very briefly Booker T as G.I. Bro, and the leader Hugh Morris as General Hugh G. Rection. I'll say that one more time. General Hugh G. Rection.
Oh, hell yeah. Hopefully no goddamn foreskin.
That's all we can ask for. Yeah, wild shout out to Lieutenant Loco. Chavo huddles up with Castro, just kind of like reorganize the game plan. Castro slinks behind Tejano while Chavo stomps out Cisco for losing so quickly and then starts getting in Tejano's face. But the distraction works for a moment. Castro jumps Tejano, but Tejano starts manhandling Castro. It's cool to see a difference in Castro. Like, he's getting some technical offense in. You know, he had the tornado DDT, counter neckbreaker, but Tejano is too strong. He's been a top singles guy for too long. Castro's momentum gets cut off when Tejano fires up after a rolling elbow. Pop-up powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, Officer Reyes is the latest victim of Tejano in this gauntlet match.
Ooh, and then Chavo, like, he's sneaking around like a scampy snake from Metal Gear Solid because he's been on one area of the outside apron talking to his crew, which doing a fantastic job. He didn't sound pushy. He sounded like someone actually coaching his team. I loved that shit. And
yes, but however, just any Pee-wee coaches out there, if one of your children strike out, do not stomp them on the ground where they are lying down. That is bad coaching.
Especially if you're a little league coach and one of your members gets DDT'd on the third base, don't then proceed to stomp them out even more for getting DDT'd on the third base.
Absolutely. I mean, I think a good general rule is don't stomp out your children regardless, but especially if they have been DDT'd on the third base. Yes. But no, Chavo's great. I mean, and he knows the game plan. He sneaks behind Tejano as he's getting his hand, as Melissa's calling the pinfall, jumps him again.
Oh, real quick.
Yes.
Getting DDT'd is like my third base.
That's fucking home run for me. If I tell you, if you DDT me, I'm gonna come. And I will fall asleep because I am unconscious.
And speaking of that, I did go to third base at a third base concert.
I only fuck at 3 Doors Down shows.
Rey Mysterio was there and he goddamn DDT'd me.
Hell yeah. Everyone has a game plan. Everyone has a game plan until they get clotheslined on their ass. Tejano fires up. However, Cisco distracts the ref while Castro uses Tejano's bull rope to trip him mid-vertical suplex, then holds down his feet for Chavo to cover Tejano for the 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. The cold-hearted Cobarde and the crew celebrate and flee with Tejano's bull rope.
Okay, refs out there. As I explained to people who are new to microphones when they come and guest at this abode, you always want to, at an angle when you're looking at someone, always keep your mouth pointed directly towards the mic, in the range of the mic. This is me doing my job bad. So, Sean, if I'm looking away from the mic, it's going to get bad sound, wouldn't you say?
Are you accusing me of giving you bad sound?
No, what I'm saying is these goddamn refs need to have their eyes on both parties at all times. If someone's complaining who's not in the match, just guess what? Take a step forward, then turn around, then you can see everyone and what they're doing. Refs, you're doing a bad job. Bad. You fuckers are alpha, I bet, not sigma.
James is... I love watching James. It's so interesting because I've, kind of been a dork for this for a while. James was, knew about wrestling, but kind of, was pretty casual about it until we started this podcast. And seeing James get angry at referees the same way I did when I was like 12 and first really getting into watching it weekly is so nostalgic. James, this righteous fury you have fills me with nostalgia, and I am ever so grateful for our friendship.
I've been told at the retail place I work at, hey, don't leave your back to the store because what if someone's stealing? That's what referees would do. They would allow people to steal from small businesses.
Well, I'm sure this is going to be the only referee distraction for the rest of the episode. The next segment, 375 miles away from Boyle Heights, we got the storage locker. Same storage locker we saw Dario and Black Lotus feed those bros to Matanza to. We get the door. We get all this muffled screams and muffled violence. And then we kind of cut to Lotus and Dario standing outside. Looks like they're sharing a smoke, but there's no cigarette. Black Lotus is impatient with Dario. Dario insists on giving Matanza as much time as he needs to get ready. There is a war coming, and respectfully, Black Lotus, you started it. Not really, but good manipulation tactic there, Dario.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this war was coming regardless, but way to manipulate your new henchperson. Then we get some fucking lore.
Wowzers.
Yo, literally a question we had at the end of Ultima Lucha answered.
This is so wild that I paused it and had to tell Nicole about it.
Fucking the lore. Okay, let's go. I'm very curious what Nicole had to say. What did Nicole have to, before we get into it, what was Nicole's reaction?
Wild.
Okay, perfect. Johnny Carson Nicole, ladies and gentlemen. Truly some wild stuff. Dario says, you know my brother saved my life? And he goes into details about their wicked mother who would hurt Dario and his little brother. So one night, Dario stood up to her, but he was not strong enough to back it up. So here comes the hot iron. However, Dario's brother was, with that Red Bull statue from the desk. That Red Bull statue that Dario, when fleeing the temple at the end of Ultima Lucha, made sure to grab. And we're like, why the fuck does he need this statue that always gets all the screen time?
Is it mystical? Will it give him special powers from the Aztec gods?
No, it just murdered his fucking mother.
Well, it's like... I wonder if we find out that he's like, no, this is actually a happy memory. This is sentimental. It's when I learned I loved violence. But it could also be...
That's such a good line, by the way.
This is a murder weapon. I can't let this go out of sight because it could make my brother complicit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's such the way Black Lotus is like, that's fucked up. And he's like, no. And the way we're talking about... We gave flowers to Evilise last week. We gotta give flowers to Dario for the delivery of that moment. Tears in his eyes, smiling to assert, no, it was a happy memory. It's the day I learned how much I love violence. Oh, Dario.
This dude rules. You can check him out in Jack and Jill.
Wait, what?
We've talked about this before. This man has a wild acting resume.
He's great. Hell yeah. I was just expecting you to say MLW or like another wrestling show he worked on. But nah, fuck it. Watch Jack and Jill. We cut back to the temple. Katrina is walking by the temple's training ring and is stopped by Penta. Penta says, Puma tried to humiliate me. He must be taught a lesson. Katrina teleports into the ring. Behind Penta says, then teach him one. Penta wants to do it in the ring, but Katrina doubts him after his loss. Doesn't really want to book this match. So they grapple. Penta eventually locks in the sacrifice hold. Katrina rolls her eyes and teleports out of it. One of the most protected moves, like one of the most powerful, feared moves in the temple. Katrina rolls her eyes because she has teleportation powers.
She was loving it. She's like, yes, I'm so glad I get to show one of these fuckers how powerful I am. It's like me when someone new comes over and I get to show them my Yogi Bear collection.
Truly. Well, your superpower is your Yogi Bear collection. Truly, like, such a good... I think this is the best showcase of Katrina's magic so far.
You want to know what powers it gives me, that Yogi Bear collection?
Come?
No, it gives me real Sigma energy.
All right. Katrina says, you want Prince Puma, you can have him next week, but be warned, putting your hands on me was the biggest mistake you ever made. And we have our main event. Johnny Mundo versus Cage. Oh, Johnny Mundo versus Cage. Oh, Johnny Mundo versus... I like this match. This is a very good match.
Very good. Real quick, Sean, I went to Jay and Corey's engagement party last night. And Corey's down. Mazel. He loves wrestling. He wants to come on this show.
Get him on this show. Would love little Corey here. I'm going to go see if my roommates got out of the bathroom yet.
All right.
Sorry, I'm dying. Thank you. Yeah, get little Corey's ass in here, and maybe we'll show him what it means to be a machine. Is that a good transition? I don't know. I'm just stoked for this match and for little Corey. I'm too stoked for words. A little brief background if this is your first episode. Johnny Mundo and Cage have been going at it for weeks now. The question is, who is hungrier for Mills' championship? Johnny in the Bee Gees-esque pink And from the 559, the Swolverine, the Iron Man, welcome, my son, welcome to the machine.
That's Soundgarden shit, right?
It's Pink Floyd there.
I know, that was the
That's the line, yeah.
exchange between Vampiro. He's like, hey, I got quit doing these Soundgarden references. And then Stryker says, that's Pink Floyd, man.
They're very... Matt Stryker is just on one today. And in general, they're just so fucking cute.
Vampiro about Johnny Mundo says, love him or hate him, he's in shape.
Which, true. We talk about cum gutters. Johnny Mundo cum gutters. Dude's offering a whole aluminum siding business with those, I tell you what. Before the bell even rings, Johnny spits at Cage, and Cage fucking smiles. I thought Drago's mask was horny. This shit's going out of control. They ring the bell. Johnny slaps Cage in the face, which is interesting. I love that choice. It's because it's a risk. You risk enraging the machine. Maybe you'll force him to make an emotional error. Maybe he'll eat your lunch and your soul. You don't really know, but you're making a choice. And we love to see choices.
It's like when you go in the bullpen and kick the bull in the groin.
Yep, you did that last weekend. And this weekend. And the weekend before. And the weekend next.
I go down to the United Center and I'm just kicking bulls in the dick. How am I still allowed into that basketball court?
Because that arena does not respect their mascots. If you're a mascot, protect your groin.
And because, the United Center, it's out there. They're just glad someone showed up now that it's not, the Bulls in their prime time.
Yeah. If the Bulls ever have a winning season, you might get caught. But until then, kick those mascots in their groin. This is a terrible message. Little League coaches, don't stomp out your children. Anyone visiting the United Center, don't kick the bull in the groin. That's just James.
I will be pissed if they start winning. Oh, we have some pendants or whatever it's called in the basketball arena.
I think just championships.
Okay, well, if all of a sudden they're doing that and I'm kicked out and they make a fun halftime show for kids where it's like, hey, who can kick the ball the best? And I'm going to be coming.
Wild.
I will be coming for them, okay? My legal team is on call.
That is a wild halftime show. Hey, children, please kick this grown adult in a costume right there in the balls. Go to town.
You know those punching games where you punch something?
Okay, so it's not a person in a costume.
But it's kicking it, and maybe it'll look like truck nuts or something, and you kick it and it goes up. But whatever kid gets it best gets a free t-shirt.
All right, that went from terrifying to adorable, which is something I can always depend on you to do, James. Thank you.
Welcome.
Johnny lands the Pele kick, which is like that backwards kind of like upside down kick, kicks him in the back of the head. He turns around, starts posing for the audience, and like a fucking horror movie villain, like a straight up Mike Myers, Jason Voorhees, Cage does not react. He is unaffected. Johnny does this slow turnaround, boom, clothesline. It's just those things, man. Like, there is beautiful athletic shit here, and then there's also just great storytelling filmmaking.
Yeah.
It looks like Cage is trying to backslide Johnny, but he can't get the second arm. So instead, he just transitions into an inverted angled slam. Like, fucking crazy. I don't know why I wrote this down. You better stick to your comic books and the Pink Floyd, kid. Anyway, I think that was a Vampiro line.
Stryker said some reference. I don't remember what it is, but on storytelling, Martin Scorsese recently came out and said, wrestling ain't storytelling.
Yo, Martin Scorsese is a piece of shit. If you ever like get deep on wrestling Twitter, this is for all of our casual fans out there. One of the big things that got coined is "this is cinema," which is one of those phrases kind of like this is a banger where like it can get overused sometimes, but it just is kind of reference to like this is wrestling when it's art.
Yeah.
And I think this fucking match does some of that, man. This is so good.
Martin Scorsese enjoyed the beginning of this when there's a voiceover with Vampiro, but nothing else because that man loves to overuse voiceover.
Which is our favorite.
I've only seen, even in the other Scorsese one I've seen Bring Out Your Dead or whatever, and Casino. Boy, oh boy. If Casino was not filmed in Las Vegas on location, I would have turned that movie off. Not an hour in, not 2 hours in, not 3 hours in, maybe 20 minutes in.
James, you gotta listen to the Rom Complex, man, because they taught me that voiceover in anything is just so good. It's so smart, and it's a great way to not have to write good dialogue. It's very clever, and we need more voiceover. So thank you, Martin Scorsese.
3 hour long movie, Sean, and the voiceover too. You think it's just, this will set up the story. It's throughout the entire fucking movie. And then all of a sudden, a rando man starts having voiceover, and you're like, what? I thought it was just Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. No, just like a guy you've seen a few times. You're like, hey, wasn't that pretty cool, Tony? And then Tony comes in and is like, yeah, boys, it was pretty cool.
Hey, I'm voiceovering over here. I apologize to all of our Italian-American listeners.
And all our New York listeners.
Hey, I'm a New York. So the commentary has been telling this story since season 2 began, that as explosive as Cage is, he seems to struggle in longer matches, which I think is a fine wrinkle to add to Cage's character.
Yeah.
But I do not think is actually true about the performer.
No.
Like, yeah, just to talk about how much this new father, the second-time new father, how good he is just an anomaly. How big he is, the power moves he can do, the technical ability he can to transition into them, and the conditioning he has to just go. Like, they almost had to write in, he's not great at long matches. They had to write in a weakness because he's Cage as fuck, man.
I think his emotional aspect, because he's just a machine, that should have been, he's cold, he's calculating, but man, he's not going to woo you at all.
Well,
the character, we know the man will.
If I may, I think we could take that as a nickname he had to give himself because his weakness is that because he does get distracted by the crowd. He does play to the audience. So if that's like, when he's in the machine mode, he's unstoppable. But once he starts like playing to the audience, that's when people start taking advantage of him. Once he gets emotional and he's no longer in machine mode, that's when he makes mistakes.
That's me whenever I'm on stage and people start like chanting or like saying lyrics, I start getting emotional and cry and can't do anything.
Oh, don't we all? Thank you, audiences, for making us cry and unable to perform because we're shocked that anybody likes us.
And guess what? That's only happened once or twice. All the other times, they're like, what the fuck is this?
That is my favorite place to be, is just going on stage and being like, what the fuck? Because you're free. I forget who it was. Oh, shit. No, it's Patton Oswalt on the last Never Not Funny. Enjoy your time in obscurity, you know? You can get away with fucking anything if nobody knows who you are. It's a gift. Shouts out to all our young artists out there. Cage is gonna kill you, chance startup, as Johnny looks to the turnbuckle for the end of the world, but don't turn your back on Cage. He's gonna fucking electric chair slam the shit out of you. So Johnny has to switch up game plans. He creates separation. He opens up a few roll-up attempts before going for the Moonlit Drive neck breaker. However, Cage counters, Lucha Destroyer, F5, fucking pinfall, but Johnny's foot finds the rope to break the count. These guys are fucking going. To see like Johnny, who from day one, like, right, he was the first main event and was on, in 2015, 2016, This Matters, on WWE TV and was like a prominent feature there. Like, to see him really go toe-to-toe, like be an even matchup with this guy who got rejected from TNA, was a huge force on the indies, but like, you know, really was just a name on the indies before Lucha Underground. Like, to see them be so evenly matched, it makes me so happy. I don't know him, but Johnny seems like a very giving performer. Like, he doesn't have a lot of ego about things. The character does, but not him as an actual person. Mm-hmm. And to see him like give so much to Cage here, it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
One of those things takes me out of the moment. I guess takes me out of the fiction, but just makes me happy as a fan. of both of these guys.
Mm-hmm. And how does this match end, Sean?
Oh, baby. So Weapon X, Cage's finisher, connects on Johnny, but a mysterious woman in fur boots and magenta and lime ring gear appears, drops a lead pipe in the corner, and distracts the referee again, so that Johnny can lay out Cage with the lead pipe. He steals one at 7 minutes and 54 seconds. Now, Matt does not recognize this woman. However, Vampiro knows another Canadian who made her name in Mexico when he sees one.
Uh-huh.
It is Vera Loca herself, Taya Valkyrie. I don't know. I didn't check their timeline. I think they are together at this time. She will become the future Mrs. Johnny TV, Johnny Mundo. Because it's so weird, because the last time we saw him have a female escort, it was Melina, his ex-girlfriend. So I guess they broke up. I assume I should have actually researched this, that in the time between Ultima Lucha and now, him and Melina have in real life broken up and he has met Taya. No judgment either way. I fucking love Taya as a wrestler. Like, we got to see her run the distraction and do the manager stuff. And then after the match, they fucking... I have it down here. Taya and Johnny sitting in a tree, stomping out Brian Cage the Machine.
Good rhyme.
Like, they're doing it. Hey, thanks. It's called improv.
No, it's not. You had that written down, you piece of shit.
I did have that written down. I improv'd it while I was writing it down.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, like I love watching Taya matches. I'm very excited. I think I knew that she was coming to Lucha Underground, but I didn't know this was the episode. I'm very excited to watch her do stuff.
And that's how the episode ends.
It sure does, until in Katrina's office, fancy shirt cowboy hat King Cuerno barges in to complain about Phoenix. The Phoenix won't die, and I'm sick of making myself the hunted by carrying this Gift of the Gods championship belt. Well, Katrina said, and then Cuerno says, broken arm or not, he's going to cash in for his title match against Mill. Katrina thought they had a deal. Cuerno, however, is the evil grandpa from Holes, because that's too damn bad. Well, Katrina puts down this fucking blood and skull snow globe, which is 10 out of 10. Great job, props department. Before telling Cuerno he's already booked next week against Phoenix for that Gift of the Gods title. Cuerno protests. He has a right to challenge Mill. However, now Katrina gets to pull a Trout Walker. Cause Cuerno, that's too damn bad. Before Cuerno can leave, Katrina transitions into Columbo to One More Thing him. Phoenix can fly, and she hopes that you can too, Cuerno, cause next week will be a ladder match. Don't cross the boss.
Ooh, Cuerno in this... when she's like, no, man, you have to keep defending it, I guess, or keep just fighting. You can't have Mill. He does such a defeated... I love that so much that it felt like that's the performer actually coming through into the character. Like, I don't want to keep doing these matches that have no stakes to them.
Well, I think that was the problem. He didn't want to keep doing these matches with no stakes. Like he was a kept man, right? He didn't have, as long as he was not ambitious, it sounded like he could keep where he was. Mm-hmm. And Katrina was going to take care of him. You never have to defend your title. You can just kind of wrestle whoever you want. But as soon as he became ambitious, as soon as he thought he had a card to play, and we saw that before with the big sniff and the satisfied grin, like he kind of thought he was in a bigger position than he actually was, and like immediately Katrina's like, actually no, you work for me, you'll do as I fucking book you, and if you don't like it, well, there's the fucking door, because that's too damn bad.
And Sean, you might not work for me, but I am the editor, so you better do your plugs.
Well, first of all, I don't care that Nicole broke her arm. I ain't doing anything until I get that title match for her Lucha Underground championship.
Well, too damn bad.
You can find me at twitch.tv/GooseVonKaiser, and it's a lot of fun. I love you all. Kisses.
Hey guys, November 30th, you heard it up front. If you know it's before November 30th, the Darling Homebody Shopping Network, 20% off everything, every $100 of Nicole's merchandise sold, i.e. the Hot Ones Last Dab Triple X Pepper Edition. It's going to be good. We want to earn $1,000 in one night. We were so close last year at like $930, but this is the year, fuckers. And hey, this week, listen to me on the Rom Complex discussing 2021's Christmas is Canceled. Very fun. Sean gets brought up. Go check that out. And head over to patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. Ooh, yeah. And $10 patrons get monthly exclusive content on top of the weekly and shout outs on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z, the Waz Orion, Jordan B, the Chaos Witch, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua Jacobs, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time, Intro Void, all that good stuff. My mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate, and hung out with him last night, Shane, that fed, twitch.tv/Core Winning. It's Corwin of This Movie's Gay. And from the Rom Complex and Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's twitch.tv/R2Shelby2. And I've been James.
I've been Sean, Purple Prancer forever.
And this has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, yeah.